Okay, all good. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So, welcome to tonight's meeting of the Community and Culture Committee meeting. I declare the meeting open at 6:01 p.m. I would like to acknowledge the beautiful people of the Eora Nation, who are the traditional custodians of all lands, waters, and sky in the Georges River area. I pay my respect to elders past and present and extend the respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who live, work, and meet on this land. Are there any apologies for tonight's committee meeting? No? Okay. So, if no, and I've been told there were no requests to attend via audio visual link as well. So staff and public are reminded that the meeting is being recorded for minute-taking purposes and is also being broadcast live to the public on Council's website in accordance with Section 5 of Council's Code of Meeting Practice. The recording will be made available on Council's website. The order of business is shown in the agenda, which has been made available. Staff and public are reminded that this meeting is open. Doors to the meeting room are to be left open unless the meeting moves into a closed, that means confidential session, according to Section 14 of the Code of Meeting Practice. Only if the meeting moves into a closed confidential session will the public broadcasting of the meeting be suspended. Council Code of Meeting Practice prohibits the electronic recording of meetings without express permission of Council. Mobile phones must be turned to silent during the meeting. Does any councillors have any interest to declare for tonight's meeting? No? Okay. And I've been advised that there were no speakers registered for tonight's meeting. So we move to COM 020-24, confirmation of the minutes of the Community and Culture Committee meeting held on the 11th of June 2024. Can I call for a motion?
I'll move that, Madam Chair.
Can I? Thank you. Moved by
Second.
Oh, okay. Moved by Councillor Kanjowski and second by Stratcopoulos. All in favour say aye. Against say no. So I declare it carried. We move to committee report. The first one will be COM 021-24, quarterly community property report, 1st of April to 30 June 2024. Firstly, can I have a mover first? Moved by Councillor Ash and Bihaban. Can I have a second for that? Thank you, Councillor Lansbury. So can I have a council's coordinator, program and operation, Andrew Williams, to give us overview of the report. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks, Madam Chair, through you, and good evening, councillors. So this report is for council to receive and note the quarterly community property report for the period of 1st of April 2024 to 30th of June 2024. The report details the leases and licence agreements executed within council's community property portfolio for the period. Council manages a portfolio of 64 community properties under a community lease or licence. There are 37 community facilities divided into 40 separate tenancies and 26 community/sporting amenities buildings divided into 32 separate licensable areas. One of these licensable areas is shared seasonally between different tenants. During the period, there was 3 lease agreements executed by council. The first one being Narwee Preschool Incorporated for number 5 Bryant Street, Narwee. The term of the lease is for 10 years, dated from 18th of August 2023 to 17th of August 2033. The second lease is for Riverwood Community Centre for the property located at 31 Thurlow Street, Riverwood. This term is for 5 years from the 1st of January 2024 to 31st of December 2028. And the third lease executed was for Narwee Baptist Broadcasters Limited, otherwise known as 2MBC FM, for Level 1, 84 Railway Parade, Kogarah. The term is for 5 years, from 1st of August 2022 to 31st of August, 31st of July 2027. The portfolio received a total annual income amount of $155,103, excluding GST, for the 2023-24 financial year. The annual rental subsidy applied across the portfolio was $1,092,372, which is based on the current market rental rates. Subsidies are determined in accordance with Council's community lease policy. Do we have any questions?
Anyone have any questions or comments? If no, can I, all in favor say aye? Aye. I can say no, so I declare carried. The next one will be COM 022-24, Georgia River Council Public Art Policy for Adoption. So can I have a mover for this first? Moved by Councillor Lansbury and seconded by Councillor Kandrzaski.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And can our Manager for Cultural Engagement and Library Services, Justin, give us an overview of this report? Thank you.
Through you, Madam Chair. This report recommends that Council adopt the revised public art policy following the 28-day public exhibition period. No feedback was received from the community during that exhibition period, so the recommended policy is the same one that was presented to Council back in April, with no further changes. To briefly summarise that revision that we did, the adoption of this policy will see the implementation of quality of life changes like readability improvements so that people can understand the policy and implement it better, and also to ensure we remain aligned with Council's strategies and cultural sector best practice. With that in mind and no changes presented, councillors, are there any questions regarding the recommended public art policy tonight?
I just have a quick question for you, if that's okay. It's not so much to do with the policy, it's about process. I'm just curious as to, do we have very many inquiries from potential providers, as in artists, etc.? Like, on average, would you get inquiries from somebody who would like to do a mural somewhere? Or how is it going to, how do you propose it's going to function going forward? Will it make a difference to what's already been in place, and has people been inquiring about what this policy being adopted will mean?
Through you, Madam Chair. The most common way that we see engagement with artists is through an expression of interest process. So they're really well taken up. We usually have a selected artist and a shortlist as well. And some of those shortlisted artists, we build up those contacts and can approach them for similar projects to make sure that they don't miss out. That's the most common way we engage. And there's been a few developer-related ones where it's met that threshold of needing a public art component. It's rare for the public to approach us with a public art proposal, but there's been a few of those, only a few.
Also, I just was curious as to whether people actually had brilliant ideas for a mural across a fence somewhere, or they would sort of limit it to when there was an actual official expression of interest or something like that. So you just answered that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lansbury. Is there any other councillors have any comments and questions? If not, all in favour say aye. I can say no, so I declare carried. And the next item will be, the next item will be COM 023-24, adoption of the draft Georgia River Council Community Lease and License Policy. Can I have a mover first? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Kandrzaski and seconded by Councillor Nick Smerdley. Can our Manager of City Life, Margaret, give us an overview of this report? Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you, Madam Chair, through you, and good evening, councillors. This report tonight recommends that Council adopts the draft Georges River Council Community Lease and Licence policy following the public exhibition period, and that the General Manager be delegated authority to make any minor administrative changes during the life of the policy. So recall that at the end of May, Council endorsed for public exhibition for a period of no less than 28 days this draft policy that was also presented at a high level at a councillor briefing on the 2nd of April. During the public exhibition period from the 31st of May to the 1st of July, we didn't receive any submissions. However, council officers still use that time during public exhibition period to continue to consult internally with council's business units to make further refinements to the policy. And those refinements are detailed under section 9, but I'll just list a few of the key ones. So we included the mandatory criteria in the policy about requiring public liability insurance, including council stance on the safety and rights of children and young people within our community for prospective tenants that may be interested in council's community property portfolio. Some realignment of wording to the Local Government Act, council's existing delegations, and a few more references to relevant council policies such as our grants and donations policy and our customer feedback and complaints management policy. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Councillor Lansbury.
Thanks, Madam Chair. It's not really a question. I just wanted to acknowledge, Ms. Lee, the amount of work that's gone into this, because I know that there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of policies that have to cross over to come together. So I just wanted to acknowledge the work you and your staff have done on that. And also I like the fact that the feedback came from internal staff, because they're the ones that will be using it, and that's obviously the best place for it. Obviously the public didn't see that there was any need to, but well done, because it's a lot of work I know has gone into this, so I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Thank you. I'll pass it on to the team.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor. So if there is no other comments or questions, can I all in favour say aye? Against say no, so I declare carried. So the next item will be COM 024-24, outgoing sponsorship and donations report. Anyone wants to move it?
I'll move that. Thanks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Councillor Natmore. Thank you. And seconded by Councillor Lansbury. Thank you. And can Margaret Lee again give us an overview of this report, please? Thank you.
Thank you again, Madam Chair, through you. This report recommends that Council approves an outgoing sponsorship request to the value of $8,500 to become a sponsor in the St George and Sutherland Medical Research Foundation Beachside Dash event that will be held on Sunday the 8th of September. A bit of background, this event is something that Council historically does support due to the benefits that it provides for our broader St George community. The Beachside Dash is a community fund run that aims at raising funds for medical research provided by the St George and Sutherland Medical Research Foundation. Councillors may recall that late last year Council had adopted a sponsorship policy as a standalone policy, and it's under that framework that this request was assessed, and the mutual benefits of Council being involved and the reciprocal benefits are listed in Part 10 of this report. And furthermore, supporting the Beachside Dash also aligns with Council's Disability Inclusion Action Plan, as this year there will be a vision impaired group where the participants will run with the assistance of a guide. Happy to take on any questions.
I just like to say it's a great cause, and it promotes great health, and well done. So hopefully we can all support it. Yeah. And hopefully we can get a council team.
Only if you lead it, Nat.
What can I say? Thanks.
Yeah, I'd just like to add, I've gone down to represent council the last 2 years there, and it's a great community event. Like, it's a huge turnout. As Nat says, Councillor Mort says, it promotes good health and it's for a good cause to raise money for SSMO for it. So it's worthwhile doing. We haven't actually had a team participating, but if you'll be the lead runner, maybe you can put together a team, being the runner on the council. So it's good that we're backing up again and being involved, because I think a lot of our residents do participate at schools and things like that. So it's a good thing for council to be associated with.
Oh, thank you, councillors. So if no more comments or questions, all in favour, say aye. Against, say no. So I declare carried. So at this stage of meeting, the time being 6:17 p.m., I hereby advise that the meeting will move into the committee of the whole to allow consideration of a matter in closed session in accordance with Section 10A of the Local Government Act 1993. Accordingly, members of the press and public are excluded from the closed session, and access to the correspondence and the reports relating to the item considered during the course of the closed sessions will be withheld. This action is being taken to allow discussion of the following item. COM 030A-24, preliminary investigation works for 38 Humphreys Lane, Hurstville. So can the Director, Community and Culture inform the committee if any representation has been received from the public that the item should not be discussed in closed session? Thank you. Are there any objections from the audience to the meeting moved into closed session? If no, I put a procedural motion as follows. That in accordance with Section 10A, Clause 2 of the Local Government Act 1993, the committee enter into closed session to discuss item COM 030A-24, preliminary investigation works for 38 Humphreys Lane, Hurstville. Can I call for a move first? Moved by Councillor Natalie Mort and seconded by Councillor Nicholas Murdley. All in favour say aye. Against say no. So I declare carried. Can I please request, thank you, the staff that is webcasting and close the door of the meeting room to the public. Recommends webcasting and open the doors of the meeting room to the public. Thank you. So the recommendation from the closed session is now displayed on the screen, so we can have a look. So can I have a mover and a seconder to confirm the recommendation from the closed session? Moved by Councillor. Okay, cool. Can I moved by Councillor Kondrasky and seconded by Councillor Mort. Thank you. So all in favour? Yeah. Say aye. Okay. No. Again, say no. So I declare carried. So that's the recommendation from the closed session in relation item COM 030A-24, preliminary investigation works for 38 Humphreys Lane, Hurstville, be confirmed as recommendation of the committee. Can I have this one? That's okay. Okay. Yeah. So now, because there is no other business on the agenda, I declare this meeting closed at 6:24 p.m. Thank you. Thank you, councillors.
Thank you.